Talonflame, as in Caster doesn't have a decent amount of, doesn't have a lot of spread move options. I believe Precipitate Blades, maybe Earthquake from his own landers, but the Clefairy will be able to do a lot of work for Zachary if Zachary decides to pair it with the Xerneas.
So this is the match between the first and the fourth seeds, but really on team sheets alone, I believe Zachary does appear to have the stronger matchup. With a more conventional team really, Caster's plus spot the Dialga, which really isn't enjoying this matchup at all against Groudon and Xerneas.
I believe the crux of this match will be determined by Xerneas, whether Zachary is able to preserve and use Xerneas to full effect, or whether Caster is able to deny and get rid of Xerneas before Zachary can really use it.
Zachary has Kangaskhan, Clefairy, Talonflame, all very strong support options to help his Xerneas pull off the sweep. And again, Caster really has to get Trick Room up to stop Xerneas from running right through his team. He has no Fairy Resist other than the Groudon.
Dialga? Oh, Dialga takes neutral.
Dialga takes neutral thanks to his Dragon typing.
Yeah, it's going to be... I'd say it's very difficult for Caster to win.
And Caster cannot afford to get too fixated on the Xerneas in case Zachary decides to go
that's
set up
the
a
thing.
sweep with maybe the Salamence or the Groudon even.
Yeah, Zachary does have other options aside from the Xerneas, so definitely something that he can play around with.
But again, if Caster gets Trick Room up as soon as possible, I believe he can keep Zachary under check, especially with Groudon able to spam Precipice Blades if he has it, and really keeping Xerneas in check. But again, it is pretty much Caster's only option to stop a boosted Xerneas.
I mean, if the Landorus is Scarf, Rockslide is pretty good. It is the best move in the game. Could deny Xerneas the Geomancy either way, but I don't think that's something that Caster will want to rely on as he's out to dealing with the Xerneas.
And Zachary does have Kangaskhan if he wants to fake out the Landorus to stop any of that from happening.
And it'll be interesting to see whether they bring the Groudon as well. And not much of a weather fight here. It's going to be definitely the Desolate Land dominating this match.
Yep. So I think the question will come down to, can Caster get Trick Room up on his side of the field? Whether it be with Dialga, which is the questionable pick here, or with his Cresselia, which I believe is a stronger choice. And whether or not Zachary can deny the Trick Room, or even just go straight for the offense and really press Caster into a corner, even if he does get the speed control.
And you did say the Kangaskhan to take
and
out
another
the Xerneas.
another option is that even if Caster gets Trick Room up, I believe a lot of Clefairies carry the After You. Which, considering all of Caster's mons, Clefairy will actually be the fastest thing on the field and be able to After You with partner to get attacks off under Trick Room. So even if Trick Room does go up, which I believe Caster is thinking is his strongest option right now, Zachary does have options if his Clefairy carries After You.
Well, we will see as we are going straight into the match. Interesting to see how
this will be a best of 3 series.
Oh yeah.
So one match will not decide everything. As Zachary does lead with the Kangaskhan Clefairy, pretty popular lead at some point in VGC.
Yeah, I believe the Frank Guard allows the Kangaskhan to survive Terrakion's close combat. Not really relevant now since Terrakion is not in the meta, but still pretty decent. Does give Kangaskhan a decent amount of
Caster does open with the Dialga, but again with the Whimsicott, so setting up perhaps for Fake Tears Flash Cannon plays actually.
Yeah, I mean, if he can get rid of the Clefairy as soon as possible.
And Fake Tears Flash Cannon would do just that.
Yeah.
Being super effective on the Clefairy.
That would severely limit Zachary's options to defend his Xerneas. Well,
but again, the fake out pressure is from Zachary's side of the field, although he has to worry about...
Oh, Whimsicott.
Whimsicott goes for Protect. A safe play since Kangaskhan cannot afford to go for fake out. Because
Dialga goes for the Protect as well.
Double Protect to waste the fake out, but again, does Zachary want to be going for fake out anyway?
Oh, we see the magic code actually coming out from Clefairy. So maybe Caster actually dodged a bullet there. Oh, we see the fake out as well.
And Zachary going for a series of questionable plays since now Caster can just encore his Kangaskhan into the fake out.
Yeah. Unless of course the Clefairy decides to follow me it away.
That is true.
But we did see the fake tears would okay, assuming the Whimsicott went.
Yes, he does go to follow me.
Oh, alright.
Pretty much forced into the follow me because of the threat of Encore. As Encore and no
goes for Moonblast.
So Whimsicott showing how much offensive investment, not much at all. Clefairy taking the special attack drop. As Kangaskhan low kicks into Dialga. Dialga, a very heavy Pokemon.
Super effective as well, I believe. Oh, air balloon popped.
And we did miss that apparently.
And Dialga goes for the Trick Room.
But again, if the Clefairy carries up, but again, we're carrying a Magic Code. Perhaps he doesn't have space for After You.
Alright, that'll be Moonblast, Magic Code, Follow Me,
and Protect. Though that remains to be seen. So Clefairy is the first slowest thing on the field, although Whimsicott does have Prankster booster attacks. But Whimsicott instead goes for a Protect, which is really questionable because I believe Zachary is going after the offensive threat on the field, which is the Dialga.
And well, Clefairy goes again for Magic Code. And Dialga Gravities. Okay, that's interesting.
Considering it is itself carrying Air Balloon, Gravity is a really strange
Kangaskhan goes for the
choice.
Whimsicott instead, going for the double edge. I felt that maybe Caster was trying to sacrifice his Dialga, set up the Gravity so he can bring in his Groudon, hit Perceptive Blades with 100% accuracy. But alright, we see the Follow Me again.
Are we going to see Encore coming out from the Whimsicott?
Grass
We see the
Whistle.
Grass Whistle under the Gravity having 92% accuracy, a very safe blend hit, and puts Clefairy to sleep.
And alright, we see Earth Power.
Power will go into the Follow Me, not going to do much damage at all, being a neutral attack on Clefairies.
And
People like
Kangaskhan will
boosted.
finish off Dialga
As
with
low
the
kick will
low
go
kick.
into Dialga. Although now Kangaskhan is vulnerable to being locked into the low kick, or assuming the Whimsicott carries Encore, which I am not sure of at all right now.
Well, I mean, the Whimsicott at this point could just go for the Grass Whistle. It's as you mentioned, a 90% accuracy move. Pretty good.
And in fact, now that we think about it, now that actually explains why Zachary has been pressing Magic Code this entire time.
Oh, he has been expecting the Grass
He's
Whistle.
been expecting the Grass Whistle all this while. So these players have definitely played each other before. They know each other's teams. And Zachary, well, overextending to block the Grass Whistle.
Well, we do see the Groudon coming in on, I believe, the third turn of Trick Room. Gravity being up means 100% accuracy Precipitate Blades here. Definitely very scary. Whimsicott,
And Grass Whistle will be able to put the Kangaskhan to sleep for this turn.
yep. Well, I think Clefairy is in a very awkward position. It wants to Magic Code the Grass Whistle, but at the same time, it wants to Follow Me away.
It is a sleep.
attacks.
Anyway.
Yeah, as in the train of thought.
This is his first turn of sleep.
And we do see, oh, it
And the,
voiced the attack.
92% accuracy Grass Whistle does miss. As Precipitate Blades goes into the Kangaskhan,
Pretty bulky actually.
taking the hit
Kangaskhan.
with the Frank
Frank Guard is up,
Clefairy, and will be able to retaliate with an attack onto the Groudon. I assume into the Groudon.
No, he might want to take
Oh,
on the
he does
Whimsicott.
not want to deal with any
He
more
lost.
Grass Whistle shenanigans. Whimsicott goes down, Kangaskhan still awake, but Groudon is
Free to sweep.
free to
actually,
sweep
yeah.
under Trick Room and Gravity. Though Zachary has yet to reveal any of his other Pokemon.
But Kester is
Doesn't matter what he
down
brings
to
out,
his
however.
last two mons, however. Yeah.
Zachary does bring out the Talonflame, who is currently weak to Precipitate
Oh
Blades.
yeah, Gravity being in effect, so he can't dodge the blades.
Yep. Not only can he not dodge the blades, it is currently weak to the blades, thanks to his fire typing.
Well, Zachary can afford to, I believe, stall out the Trick Room. It is only the fourth turn.
Or you could just go for the YOLO Brave Bird Sucker Punch into the Groudon.
Well, Crest goes for the Helping Hand here.
A very clear Precipitate Blades here. Are we going to see a double?
Oh,
he does
sees
go for the double.
Shot, but it fails. Definitely was on the Crest then.
What on earth was he doing? Sucker punching the crest? I am not sure.
Super effective hit, I believe. Alright. Oh, he doubled into the Crest actually.
Predicting a protect from the Groudon?
Well, that definitely went.
Precipitate Blades is
badly
going
for
to
him.
score 2 KOs with the Helping Hand boost, though he didn't need the Helping Hand boost, considering the Kangaskhan was already
Maybe
at half.
Zachary forgot about the side effect of Gravity neutering, like bringing Flying type Pokemon to be affected by Ground type moves. Oh, actually,
And he could have stalled out a turn of Trick Room there.
interesting. Well, he is down to his own Groudon.
Well, Zachary not having the Trick Room option on his own team, which means that he will have the faster Groudon, presumably.
Yeah, but Crest can't dodge the Precipitate Blades now.
But Crest is not going down to the Precipitate Blades.
Um,
Not at full health. No, he's not at full health actually. But even at this health, it's going to survive the Precipitate Blades if enough to spare.
yeah, but what can he do to a Groudon back? I mean, Trick Room is expired.
Cresselia is just going to Helping Hand.
Alright, but
Yep, just goes for the Helping Hand, expecting to get KO this turn.
and
And
Groudon
it
goes.
turns out Caster's Groudon is faster anyway. And Zachary will go down to the single target Precipitate Blades with the Helping Hand boost. And Caster takes, as it turns out, a very comfortable game one. So much for all our predictions in the
Yeah,
team preview.
I do believe it was a mistake that Zachary didn't bring the Xerneas. But now that you know that the Whimsicott has option of Grass Whistle,
But Zachary was spamming Magic Code against what was at that time a 55% Grass Whistle, which I don't think Caster wants to use. Caster was always going to want to get Gravity up before spamming Grass Whistle. So Zachary perhaps overreacting to the threat of Grass Whistle. And well, even when you think about it, Caster's strategy, as much as devastating as it turned out, the fact remains that Dialga has the Gravity, and Dialga is a slow Pokemon vulnerable to attacks from Zachary's side of the field.
yeah, I believe it's a mistake that I mean Zachary should have brought the Xerneas. That is definitely something that could turn the fields. I mean Groudon does the Groudon does resist, but it's still something that can. I mean you can definitely set it up faster than Caster can.
And the extent to which Caster seems to be afraid, the extent to which Zachary seems to be afraid of the Grass Whistle kind of indicates that I don't think his Talonflame carries Quick Guard. I believe he will be bringing his Talonflame to stop the Whimsicott and giving his giving his Xerneas an easy setup. So without the quick guard, Zachary's matchup does get very awkward since he always has to be wary of the Grass Whistle going off.
Now they mention it, maybe the Kangaskhan coming out first makes sense. He wants to try to delay Caster's setup. But I feel he should be going for setup of his own.
In fact, going for the fake out somewhat recklessly kind of indicates that does Caster even carry Encore in his Whimsicott at all?
Good question. We've seen the
Protect, we've seen the Grass Whistle, and we've seen
Encore.
We've seen the Moonblast.
Moonblast, yeah, Moonblast.
And well, the last resort could easily be a helping hand instead of the Encore.
Yeah, or it could be a tailwind in. Who knows?
So, well, these two players definitely know each other's teams better than we know. So they know each other's options, and we saw it from Zachary just going for the magic turn after turn, hoping to catch the Grass Whistle. But when you think about it, even if he did Grass Whistle that turn, Zachary only had a 55% to hit the Grass Whistle back, and Whimsicott will be immune to it anyway.
Yeah, so he would at most break even, which is not something that he wants. And he has this round only to take it back from a caster rolling over with a 2-0 victory.
Right, so we're going to see if Zachary's going to change out, as Zachary does go for the Xerneas lead this time around with the Clefairy. And are we going to see the Kangaskhan on Caster's side of the field?
Oh, no,
we see the same lead, the Whimsicott, Dialga. And I think this is well, are we going to see a follow me? I think this is going to be a follow me Geomancy.
Yeah, but that's not really ideal because Dialga can just easily go for a Trick Room.
But even after the Trick Room, what's going to happen next?
Gravity Grass Whistle? But the
He will go into the Clefairy.
Oh, right.
Clefairy is just going to press. As you see, Clefairy at this point just needs to keep pressing follow me to protect the Xerneas because
Whimsicott goes for the taunt.
As Whimsicott reveals its fourth move, which is not Encore. It is the taunt, as Clefairy will be unable to follow me the following turn.
That is quite unfortunate. And, well, Geomancy goes up, but at what cost?
Casters would presumably be going for the Trick Room.
Yeah, to nullify.
Oh no, actually, the Gravity might be the better play here. To set up Grass Whistle as soon as possible.
Yeah, I mean, Whimsicott does have priority with the Prankster.
Nope, he goes for Trick Room instead, which means that Zachary still has a window of opportunity here. Because unless Whimsicott goes for the 55% Grass Whistle, his Xerneas is going to get an attack off on the Dialga.
Yeah, and we've seen that the Whimsicott does not have the Encore, so he can't really lock the Xerneas down as well.
But again, he has the Grass Whistle to lock the Xerneas down.
And that's a 55% chance.
Is he going to press it? 55% not the best odds, but again, what else does the Whimsicott have to do?
And
the Whimsicott does not have anything else. Well, is he going to bring out the Talonflame? No, he brings out a rather dubiously named Salamence.
Well, hopefully the Whimsicott didn't just Moonblast that slot.
Whimsicott actually goes for the Protect, which really, I don't know what the Protect is for.
Xerneas goes for the Protect. That was an opportunity for Zachary to deal some damage.
And now Gravity will go up.
Yeah.
And now Whimsicott's Grass Whistle goes to 92% accuracy, and Xerneas looking in a very tough spot.
Yeah, that was definitely an opportunity. I mean, Dialga being neutral to Fairy. At a +2, you feel has to do at least a 2-hit kill.
And Dialga not packing the highest special defense as well. Dialga only having 100 base special defense.
Alright, we see Zachary go for the Mega Evolution of the Salamence here. The Grass Whistle comes out, but on who? I would wager the Xerneas.
As he lands, 92% not failing caster this time, puts the boosted Xerneas to sleep, and he will take his first turn of sleep this turn and eat an Earth Power onto the Salamence.
That's surprising actually. I thought you would go for a
possibly
Dragon
not
attack.
carrying a Dragon attack.
And Mans goes to work, firing off a Hyper Voice here, brings Whimsicott down to his sash. But you have to imagine he's going to sleep next turn.
Though every turn that caster has these two mons on the field, is another turn that Xerneas can wake up. It's another turn of Trick Room wasted. The longer caster delays bringing his Groudon onto the field, the higher the chance that this battle will slip out of his control.
Yeah, so the question is, does he even want to sleep the Mans? He wants the KO, so he can bring in his Groudon for free.
Perhaps a Moonblast and a Earth Power into the slot right now.
Yeah. I mean, he perhaps want to whittle down the Xerneas.
As Salamence protects against the potential Grass Whistle, as Whimsicott actually stays in and Grass Whistle. As Earth Power, a Tower Taki to Salamence, giving Xerneas a turn to wake up, but it does not. Takes a second turn of sleep. So caster dodges the likely Dazzling Gleam.
There is just more time for Zachary to recover from this position.
Caster is just wasting away his own Trick Room turns.
Yep. and giving opportunity for Xerneas to wake up and start sweeping. And the Whimsicott is not long for the war either. Its ability to control the game is going to be very short term.
It's going down. It's probably going down this turn unless he gets the KO on Salamence and the Xerneas takes the third turn asleep.
Well, I mean, the Whimsicott does have the Moonblast. Oh, he switches out the Salamence.
Perhaps back into the Clefairy. Yes, he goes back into the Clefairy at full health. Going to take hits quite comfortably. Dialga protects, wasting his own Trick Room turns. Are we going to see a wake up from Xerneas?
Oh no, we do see a Moonblast.
He did go for the double attack, double target into the Salamence this time, but Moonblast...
No, he didn't. The Dialga...
Oh, the Dialga protected. And Xerneas wakes up. Dazzling will finish off Xerneas. Groudon will come in, but I believe protecting next turn will end Trick Room.
Yeah.
And Gravity to boot. Custom may just have wasted his own... And Trick Room has run out this turn.
Yeah.
My mistake.
Gravity still has, I believe, one
more turn, yes. But now with no way to boost, and Clefairy boosting up Xerneas' defenses, this is going to be a hard slog.
Well, the question now is how much damage can the Xerneas do? I mean, the Dialga is neutral, the
Dialga
Groudon
is protected. The Dialga is protected last turn, which means the Xerneas can just Moonblast the Dialga to stop any Trick Room from going up.
I believe he has to prioritize the Dialga. Another Trick Room would be disastrous because Dialga will be able to reset Gravity as well and let Groudon sweep.
But the clear play here is a Moonblast into the Dialga slot, since with the French Guard boost, Groudon is not coming close to one-hit killing Xerneas. Not with the... but we do see the Dazzling Gleam come out. It's enough to kill Dialga actually. So
as you mentioned earlier, the low special defense.
Higher special defense, true. Though the expected 252 HP Dialga to have displayed more longevity.
Alright, we see French Guard doing work here for Xerneas, and we see Icy Wind coming out from Clefairy.
So a rather unorthodox Clefairy set here.
Yeah, I don't
carrying
think...
Magic Code and the Icy Wind.
I don't think it affects Kester much. I mean, he is running mostly a Trick Room team.
Yes, but Clefairy just wanted to get some damage off and recognizing that it just can't do anything else this turn.
Well, yeah, I believe Zachary could just easily press Dazzling Gleam here to seal the game. Or
the Groudon might survive. Groudon probably will survive, considering the Dazzling Gleam damage last round.
Yeah, it does, but Clefairy's French Guard is doing works here. Xerneas takes the Precipice Blades previous turn quite comfortably. Oh, goes for a Helping Hand.
Are we going to see the Moonblast into... He goes into a Dazzling Gleam again. Is Groudon able to hang on with a damage roll? Groudon hangs on, will get the boosted Precipice Blades off, and that may just have cost Zachary the game.
Yeah, the Clefairy will definitely go down, but the Xerneas
hangs on with the help, despite the Helping Hand boosted Precipice Blades.
French Guard doing a lot of work for Zachary.
But Cresselia going? But Cresselia, well,
went for Cresselia went for the Helping Hand. There's no speed control. Groudon will go down to a Dazzling Gleam here, and speed is definitely on Zachary's side now. So the Cresselia, Groudon
will protect, but a Dazzling Gleam does double edge, double into the.
I don't believe he even has double edge. Hyper Voice would be enough actually.
That's true. Dazzling Gleam might do... Magic Gleam pings it, Hyper Voice will take out the Cresselia and shut the Groudon, lock the Groudon down, and we will be moving to a game 3.
Yeah.
With Kester really sacrificing his early advantage for rather questionable plays.
Yeah, I mean, Zachary, you could tell from the early game was really struggling, even though he did get the Geomancy up on his Xerneas.
But not only did Kester waste his own Trick Room turns, he just left the Xerneas there, boosted already, and didn't even attempt to get damage on it.
I think he was overestimating the usefulness of Sleep there, and his advantage was short term, whereas on Zachary's side, the boost on Xerneas will stay as long as he doesn't switch out the Xerneas.
Zachary perhaps recognizing that the longer he could keep Dialga and Whimsicott on the field, the longer Kester just accomplishes nothing. He doesn't get much leverage out of Gravity other than the Grass Whistle accuracy, which he can just stall out by eventually waking up. And without getting Groudon on the field, Kester does not get anything accomplished really.
Not much damage coming out from Kester. Perhaps maybe, I believe his leads are actually okay. Maybe he could try while in Trick Room mode, switching out Whimsicott or Dialga to bring in Groudon, so he can actually start doing some damage.
The Groudon has to come in under Trick Room.
Yeah.
Kester is really overrating the effect of Sleep right now.
I mean,
you can put all your opponents Pokemon to sleep, but you're not winning the game that way.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not doing any damage to them, eventually they will wake up and they will hit you back.
So we're going to see if Kester does make the necessary adjustments. I believe he cannot go for the Whimsicott Dialga lead. He's getting exploited. Or even if he does, he has to switch out at least one as quickly as possible once the setup is in play.
a Xerneas Kangaskhan lead on Zachary's side would not be too bad. He can pressure with the fake out, and at the same time, if Kester decides to double protect as he did in the first game, he can just easily punish with the Geomancy. And the key thing is that Trick Room would not be up.
Yes.
The Xerneas will be able to get some attacks off.
And without the On Kong Music God, he has no fear of being locked into fake out.
Exactly. And so, Parental Bond, Kangaskhan should be able to take out the Whimsicott before it can. I mean, alright, the Dialga can set up the gravity, but the Grass Whistle, the control element will be gone.
So I think fake out, really Kangaskhan Xerneas only really stymied by Groudon on Kester, or the Landorus on Kester's side of the field.
I believe he can play around that. He does have the Mans with the Intimidate to try to nerf the Groudon's attack a bit.
As we do move to a deciding game 3, which will decide which of these seniors moves on to the final of these regionals. Are we going to see a change up? Zachary leads with the Salamence and Clefairy.
Okay. And we see Kester lead the same lead as he done for the past 2 games.
Except the situation looks a lot better for Kester here.
Yeah.
Zachary may be expecting Kester to change his leads up and going for the drastic change, and it has not paid off at all.
Yeah, I mean, Zachary definitely throwing away an advantage in that Xerneas has provided him. Xerneas has won him the second match. Why didn't he lead with it?
Again, he probably predicted that Kester would punish the Xerneas lead, but perhaps overestimating Kester's ability to adapt.
Or maybe Kester says, well, my setup is pretty good.
Dialga goes for the protect, so no Trick Room coming up this turn. Is Whimsicott going to go for the Hail Mary Grass Whistle?
Oh, no, it goes for the taunt
into the Clefairy.
Which does not
into the Salamence. Hyper Voice will bring Whimsicott down to his sash, and if Clefairy goes for the Icy Wind, Whimsicott goes down.
Oh, that's...
And I believe Clefairy is going for the Icy Wind, since it's the only attack that goes after Salamence.
That's actually quite surprising. I mean,
Whimsicott goes down without doing anything.
Why did the taunt come out from Whimsicott onto...
I mean, if Dialga had gone for the Trick Room, then logically you taunt the Salamence so that you can attack into the Salamence without fear of a protect.
Yeah, and I mean, the Whimsicott does have the protect. It could have protected to avoid being killed right over there.
I guess Kester predicted the double target onto the wrong Pokemon. But again, what is Salamence doing to Dialga that he has to be afraid of a double target?
I have no idea. I have no idea at all.
Kester now bringing out his second Trick Roomer, the Cresselia, and I believe Kester realizing he has to bring out his Groudon to start putting some pressure on the field.
Crest should be able to survive to set up Trick Room.
Likely going for the Trick Room this turn. So, well, Clefairy will want to be wary about using Icy Wind because he just makes Cresselia slower than it. He makes both of his Pokemon slower than it.
It's just chip damage. I mean, both Kester's mons are slower than Zachary's. He will be going for
Clefairy is the slowest rank right now.
Oh, okay.
But Clefairy actually goes for the Follow Me, which I don't understand. Hyper Voice does get a decent amount of damage on both of them. But
Crest goes for Icy Wind.
Kester revealing that he does not have Trick Room on its Cresselia perhaps.
Huh.
Cresselia available as a second mode when the Trick Room does not work out with his Dialga. But the Frank Guard again showing his worth, and the 4 times effective Icy Wind doing absolutely nothing to the Salamence.
Groudon, since gravity is not up, Groudon can't really freely precipitate blades.
Groudon cannot do any damage to the Salamence at all.
Yeah, so he has to use his other options which we have not seen up to now.
Like just fire. Likely at least a fire attack. Groudon just protects, realizing that the Hyper Voice is doing way too much damage than is comfortable.
And
Clefairy protects
as well.
Predicting the Precipice Blades perhaps, since it's the only target of it.
And
Double Edge goes into the Groudon, and Cresselia will recover its health back to full health, but as of right now, I don't think Zachary is worrying about the Cresselia at all.
Yeah, it's just that, yeah, Kester has to preserve his Groudon, and Cresselia recovering health, that is not one of the ways. He could have gotten more damage off onto the Mans.
And now Groudon slot is going to be getting targeted with the Double Edge this turn.
Well, he could switch in the Dialga, and the Dialga does resist the Flying Step from
it's true. And regardless of what attack is coming in, either Double Edge or Hyper Voice, Dialga would resist it. Though again, it just means that he loses all the offensive pressure of Groudon. Though again, there's not much offensive pressure being put on Salamence when you have no gravity.
Yeah, and Zachary actually coming out ahead, I would say, because in this Slugfest, he has 4 mons. Oh, but
he does go for the Helping Hand, so are we going to see a Rock Slide from the Groudon perhaps? Double Edge into the Groudon, will he be able to survive? Groudon having into the Cresselia, doing a ton of damage with the critical hit, and taking the recoil, which will put him in range of the Thunder Punch from the Groudon.
That's interesting, and that's the one turn that Clefairy
And
didn't...
Salamence does not go down to the Thunder Punch.
I was gonna say that's the one turn that, you know, Clefairy didn't go for the follow me. But Man still survives, the Clefairy, Frank guy very strong here.
Perhaps you see why Zachary isn't going for the follow me, because he knows his Salamence is under no threat whatsoever.
Yeah, and even with the -1 speed from the Mans was still faster than the Groudon.
At this point, I believe a Hyper Voice and Icy Wind will clear the field.
Yeah, and
Zachary, Kessler realizing that, he decides to retreat the Dialga.
has to bring in the Dialga.
But Cresselia will go down this turn to the Hyper Voice.
Yeah, Zachary is definitely chipping away.
Cresselia actually refused Protect. So Cresselia will hang around for one more turn. As Hyper Voice will go into the Dialga. As Clefairy follow me is a Thunder Punch this time, though no Thunder Punch is forthcoming. As Hyper Voice will chip Dialga and break its Air Balloon. A decent amount of damage to boot.
Yeah.
Dialga not the most specially bulky mon.
Yeah, considering that even if it resists,
format.
yeah, that's a decent amount of damage.
And again, Zachary having very much an autopilot mode right now.
Yeah, I mean, tables have really turned. I thought Kester would have a very strong advantage.
And he even switches in. Groudon is probably going to take a Hyper Voice.
Which,
And Icy Wind Tower target which will bring it down. If Groudon goes down, this game might be over.
Maybe it might. I'm not sure if the damage is enough.
Are we going to see a follow me though?
Yeah,
We are going to see the follow me. So Groudon it will probably hang on for one more turn through this Hyper Voice, which will bring it into the red, barring a critical hit. Well, actually stays in the yellow. So and Dialga gets
goes for a
Trick Room.
And I would say Dialga would then set up Gravity so that it will bring the Mans down for Groudon to be able to KO it with the Precipitate Blades.
That being said, Clefairy will hang around and pile on a little bit more chip damage with Icy
Is
Wind.
Groudon slower than Dialga?
I would hope that Kester has EV'd his Dialga to be slower.
But well, Dialga
than
is affected
Groudon.
by Icy Wind, correct?
No, it was hit by Hyper Voice.
Ah, okay. Well, then...
I would hope that Kester
Yeah,
EV'd his Dialga to be slower.
Precipitate Blades goes before the Gravity,
Are we
it
going
would
to see
be
a
very
double protect
unfortunate.
coming out from Zachary?
Groudon protects actually.
So perhaps the Dialga isn't. So Groudon has to protect in order to get the Gravity out.
Actually, we see a lot of protects coming out. Dialga is free to Gravity here, and which he does. So by no means is Kester out of this game, although he does have limited amount of turns to press the advantage here.
Precipitate Blades is not going to kill Clefairy though. Again, Clefairy can't really do much damage back.
Yeah.
Icy Wind going to do a bit of chip, but at this point, every bit of chip is going to matter on the Groudon.
Yeah, the speed drop's not really relevant. Well, I guess if he wanted to, he could preserve his... Nah, he shouldn't. Clefairy, yeah, chip damage would be excellent. Especially since Kester is down
He has
to
no
his
reason to
last
switch at this point. Considering that he hasn't revealed any of his Pokemon at the back, and every bit of chip damage will matter on Groudon right now.
Yeah, actually you could say that it was a mistake that Zachary protected with the Mans, because since Groudon protected there, Dialga, there was no damage incoming. There was
Only coming out from Clefairy, which really
it's a bit surprising.
I was supposed to take the Earth Power, but the Earth Power was always going into the Clefairy anyway.
Yeah.
Since Precipitate Blades was going to kill the Salamence.
That was a critical hit, and the blades come out.
And this could be it for Clefairy. Clefairy does bite the dust, and maybe that's why he went for the follow me to take the Earth Power, because, well, I suppose it was just
Either way, he
gonna
was
be
going down
anyway.
yeah.
Oh, questionable, because I believe Clefairy is faster under Trick Room. So Icy Wind would have gotten some damage off.
Well, we see Xerneas come in along with Zachary's own Groudon.
No Talon Flame, which I believe Kester would really have wanted to see in right now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Groudon in KO range now, I believe, from Brave Bird. And priority is what you want against a Trick Room environment.
Unfortunately, Zachary has brought neither of his priority users.
Dialga actually threatens the Groudon with the Earth Power. Kester's own Groudon with the Precipitate Blades. Maybe he wants to take down the Xerneas. And Xerneas I don't think will want to boost in this situation either. But it's Dazzling Gleam enough without the +2 boost.
Kester not wanting to lose his Groudon, recognizing that his Groudon is the only way for him to win the game. As
Yeah,
Dialga will Earth Power into the Groudon, not going to KO, since it does not have Step. As Groudon goes for Precipitate Blades, does it land on the Dialga? It lands on the Dialga.
Gravity is up.
So right, I might say, yes, 85% will become 100%. Dialga will go down to Precipitate Blades. Cresselia will come back in as Xerneas is going to Geomancy anyway. Because why not? Groudon protected anyway. Xerneas had no other move to use that turn. And he gets in to protect. Now he's able to maybe stall out enough turns for Trick Room for Geomancy.
Yeah, I mean, yes. If Kester's Trick Room runs out, then Zachary would be in a very good advantage. Would definitely seal the game with his +2 Xerneas here.
And the fact that Caster went for the Protect on Groudon perhaps indicates that is this potentially a speed tie between the Groudons that Caster's not willing to risk?
I'm not really sure, but yeah, definitely the clock is against
Cresselia has to make a choice here.
Yeah.
If he goes for the Helping Hand to get the KO on Xerneas, it means he cannot Moonlight and will go down to any sort of spread attack. Groudon tries for the double. I don't agree with that play at all.
Yeah,
All the momentum is on his side of the field. Cresselia goes for the Moonlight, but if the Groudon lands an attack on Caster's Groudon, this game is over.
It will. Gravity is still up, I believe.
And Groudon did go for attack. Precipice Blades will go, and Caster going for a very dubious double protect.
Yeah.
Does not get it, and will lose this set. Barring some kind of amazing combine
Why?
miracle
Why
from
did he,
Caster.
Definitely, he had the advantage, and
Does he know that Zachary's Groudon is slower than his? Did they beforehand realize that one has a lower IV than the other?
No, but it can't be. In the second match, Caster's own Groudon went before Zachary's own Groudon under Trick Room.
So he knew that the speed advantage was there. So he went for a really dubious double protect, despite having besides being the Trick Room player under Trick Room.
Yeah, and I mean, you could say that the game was already sealed since Trick Room ran out and Xerneas was able to get off a protect, which meant that it was able to sweep next turn. I believe we would have taken out the Groudon. Cresselia, even at full health, can't really do much back to Xerneas after he has Geomancy.
Yes, true.
Yeah. So
the game was pretty much sealed. Caster really ran out of Trick Room turns to abuse his Groudon under.
Yeah, so very interesting. I mean, from the first match, we saw that Caster had maybe a very strong advantage with the control that Whimsicott had. But
the thing
was
is,
able to play around it.
Zachary had the team advantage, really. Since Caster really carried too many support Pokemon, not enough ways to generate damage other than the Groudon.
Yeah, I mean, he could control the match, but not enough damage. Yeah.
Just couldn't do enough damage output. He couldn't take advantage of his own Trick Room turns. And in the end, well, Caster just couldn't get the kills he needed.
And I think in Game 3...
and he wasn't even confident in his own speed control.
In Game 3 where there was the Mance out, I think Zachary recognized that as long as Gravity wasn't on the field, then Mance is a pretty good option against the Groudon.
Yup. And really, he had no way to hit the Salamence other than Thunder Punch of all things, which even Helping Hand boosted barely did 35-40%.
Well, Zachary did have the Clefairy Frank Guard to mitigate some of the damage, so that was a factor as well. And I think Clefairy did a lot of work for Zachary, despite first round being not very useful.
Yeah, it was just pressing Magical against
Magical, follow me, Magical, follow me. Yeah, but definitely proving his worth in the second and third games, passively giving bulk to its partner.
Yeah, it really didn't do anything of worth, but just by its mere existence on the field, it did what it needed to do.
Yeah, the Icy Wind was just merely cheap damage.
It was just gravy on top. Right, so congratulations to Zachary, who advanced to the final of the Seniors Division Regionals. Seniors Division of this Regionals.
Yeah.
And I believe, unfortunately, the Masters Round 6 has already begun. So we will not be able to bring you a game. So I believe we will take a break until the next match is ready.
Yeah, perhaps we'll come back with if any of the Masters finish their round 6 early and the round is still ongoing, perhaps we can bring back a match already.
We shall see.
Yeah.
But until then, we will be taking a break and we will be right back.